Hello, anybody, somebody, nobody, whoever may never see this. This is Siegfried Alexander Faust. Welcome. And I'm going to be showcasing part 2 out of my 4-part series of the Warhammer 40k Armies updates. I'll have mods along with my Battlescribe list available on Google Drive and on Steam Workshop for people that are interested. So you can just plug and play and instantly have it all pre-generated and ready to play with your friends. You can just borrow and use these how you like. Please playtest them and enjoy for yourselves. I will zoom in here. That just has a little blurb info. You can pause the video if you like. But again, if you enjoy this content, please like, share, and subscribe, or at least hit the like button. The likes on the videos and some comments, so I can actually talk to people, is pretty nice. Because I don't know what it's like to talk to people. No, I just like to get positive feedback from the community. I don't always get it, and this is a fun little hobby I'm doing, talking about and generating these armies. I know some people take advantage of it, but if there's more people that I got to see and I get to see people playing my armies, that'd make me really happy. So please hit a like or subscribe or comment if you can. It doesn't take much and it really makes my day. With that said, let me start talking about the armies. So, Imperial Guard. This is going to be 2 things of Kazarkane and 1 thing of Tempestus Silence. These will just go deep so you can get some maneuverability and maybe get some behind enemy lines. These are both going to be on the Tark's Prime, 1 each, so they can just jump out and get the reroll hits and wounds. And now that's actually good. We didn't have this before, since they made the voice of command change where you can give orders after disembarking from a vehicle. Before, no, poopy. I saw some people doing it, but I just didn't think it had enough value. Now, I definitely think it has enough value. Speaking of value, I have 3 Manticores. They went up 30 points each. I don't give a fuck. I'm still doing it. Along with Lord Solar Leontis. Why? Because it's toxic. You combine those with a Scout Sentinel shooting at a single target. God forbid you throw a Hellhound in there. I don't have a Hellhound, but you could afford it. I believe by removing 2 Scout Sentinels. And your opponent is not going to get like cover. You're going to be hitting on 2s, probably wounding on 2s. I think you get reroll hits of 1, and you're getting blast, and you're not getting the indirect fire penalty as well. It's disgusting. Especially this hurts some of the armies that really do the like Terminator spam or have like 3 bricks of Terminators. So Custodes, this hurts. And more so, again, since it's 3 damage, they're a bit more annoying because they have 4 health / wounds. But 3 bricks of Grey Knight Terminators, Death Shroud Terminators for Death Guard, the Paladins again for Grey Knights as well, the Knights, Deathwing Knights for Dark Angels, all the Terminator spammers. This is annoying. Storm Eagle rockets, I hit you from wherever, you can't stop me, neener neener. And it's because if you're able to turn off their light cover or get extra AP, etc., then you're bringing them to their invul anyway. And they're all T5, so guess what? Again, I'm going to be 2s, rerolls, and it's just so dumb. So dumb. He's boosting them. They can all be hiding if you have a large thing covered. Hide them all, or you just put them all in Narnia with Lord Solar, and he's just going to be hanging out buffing them all. And that's just a really annoying thing. 2 Lemurian Rust Vanquishers, along with the Tank Commander. I did give Tank Commander Grand Strategist, so that way he can give each one an order. Very nice. And that's the gist of Guard. Not the most friendly, probably the most BM out of all 26 factions, because others are just like, oh, it feels bad if your opponent gets first, they Alpha Strike, or they have a counter army. This denies interaction with your opponent if you really want to. I don't think that's cool, but it's good. I liked Manticores before, and I like them now still. Grey Knights. The Gay Knights with their Psyker powers. Okay, so this is some shenanigans. I played somebody, and they had an Orc Stompa. That's 800 points and tough as fuck. Grey Knights have, like, no anti-tank. So, I ignored it, and I just did everything else. However, their anti-tank is also anti-infantry, and I think it's better to do that and just ignore your enemy's tanks. If you're going against Knights, good luck. So, let me start talking about this. There's 3 5-man squads of Grey Knight Strike Force. 2 of them, plus a Librarian each, is going to be in the Land Raider Redeemer, because Librarians have spooky Vortex, Vortex of Doom ability. And this is maybe me being biased, but I rolled 6 on it both times, and then on the dice I rolled high. Oh my god. The fact that these dudes in 10th edition, one model, has the ability to possibly get 12 mortal wounds is still nutty. It feels, because it's so RNG based, like it's similar to the shock attack gun for orcs. That thing, if you rolled high, nutty damage. But yeah, this is like the orc shock attack gun, straight up, but it's Grey Knights. So 3 of those. However, now you'll see Knight of the Flame. This is really nasty. You're gonna get a 10-person thing of purifiers, 4 with incinerators because you're gonna put them within 12. All the rest just have their shooters, regular stormbolters, but they also have purifying flame. You're also gonna yeet them with Castle and Crow, because he's gonna increase all their purifying flames by 1, an extra attack. So he just doubles the attacks coming at your opponent. Goes from 10 from them to 20, and then you're gonna have, guess what? It counts as a shooting though, even though it's psychic. So Venerable Dreadnought, you're gonna drop this next to them. Reroll your hits of 1 and your wounds of 1. And guess what? It's anti-infantry 2-up. So against infantry, 2-ups wound. It doesn't matter what their toughness is. It could be an orc, a custody, Death Shroud Terminator. Doesn't matter. Instead of needing 5-ups, you need 2-ups. So perfect anti-Terminator deceptively, because it's going to go through and just start melting it. And you just get so many of these dumping into your opponent. It also ignores cover, so it would bring them to a 3-up. And so it will actually still put out better than you may think. It will delete. And God forbid they're not Terminators, then they're mega dead. And then I have, of course, Kaldor Drago with some Terminators. Yes, Paladins are awesome, but for these purposes, not necessary. They get Hammerhead, so when they charge, they get lethal hits. Paladins don't, unless I'm mistaken. They get, your opponent is like -1 to hit or wound, or whatever. Voldus is the other thing, you throw him on Paladins. But lack of points, I did this. Because Caldrago, when he'll deep with them, guess what? He gets a +3 to his charge, so it's a 6-up. That's worth re-rolling if you fail. Very nice. So they're going to get the charge bonus and probably delete something. And then after that, if they're just after that big charge, then they're just extra wounds to keep Kaldor Drago alive so he can dunk on things. That's basically it. After that, then it's just he's the actual threat. Also, Land Raider Redeemer can do smoke, I believe. Yes, so it is very tanky. Grandmaster and Nemesis Dread Knight. So I was thinking originally to take out 1 Librarian, 1 squad, this out, and see if it puts Paladins or something else in, see what I can move around, shuffle around for some extra value. He is weird. If you can get, I think I gave him the Demonica thing as well. No, I think there wasn't enough. Yeah, there wasn't enough points to do that. If you can get him in to a monster or vehicle, yeah, once per battle round, you can roll the hit roll, wound roll, and damage roll. So that Demon Great Hammer, instead of hitting on 3-ups, you hit on 3-ups, you roll 1s and 2s. Strength 14, so you're going to be wounding on 2s or 3s, so against big stuff, you roll 1s and 2s. And then, whatever they don't save, damage 6 plus 1, re-roll the damage, so if you don't like it, 1 through 3, re-roll it, why not? And so he can potentially get 4 attacks in reasonably out of a big knight, and deal, on average, 4s and 5s. So 4 attacks, that's going to be close to 20 damage. God forbid you have the perfect field day with him, he can take out a actual big knight, Chaos or Imperial, etc., and he is like 200 points. So huge trade-up value. Even if he doesn't take it out, the amount of damage he'll do, huge trade-up value. Worth it, 100%. But that's Grey Knights. And some of the other shenanigans is, so these are in the transport, along with that. And then these are with Drago in space, is reserves. And then you can use the Grey Knight rules to, next round, yeet 1, 2, 3 across the board. All you just need the Librarian and the Grey Knights on the field, and then these dudes are in, because they're just holding objective and the Redeemer is moving up. These guys are hidden. So they're just going to be hidden, not allowed for your opponent to shoot them. So that way, because you have to do it on your opponent's turn. So that way in round 2, you could bring them in and do all the funny business. But that makes it so they can't be shot. Very nice, indeed. Okay, add mech, beep, boop. Okay, I did this because you should, but I don't like this unit. This model is so much different from the rest. It just makes it all wonky. It bugs my eyes. This is pretty boring. It is breacher spam. Yes, many breachers because it's good. A manipulus per breacher. You get a manipulus. You get a breacher. It's gonna be 2 3-guy squads of Sidonian dragoons. Maybe it could be ladies. I don't see any admech titties. I think they're like, I don't need fat on my chest. That is irrelevant. It is non-logical. I will chop it off. Said all the admech women probably. Marshals to go with them as well. Marshal. It is 2 ranger and I think a vanguard. If you can get that vanguard into the midfield, try to just, if they're alive, that's great. Just for 1 to 2 rounds, so they can drop your opponent's OC. Maybe you hold it. Pretty funny. These are 3 separate Battlescribe, not 1, for the Einstriders, because there's a funny stratagem, and all it does is require 1 Battlescribe to mark a target. So that's it. You just need the 1. No reason to give your opponent multiple to shoot at with some overwhelming firepower, especially if they're not able to change out their shots and they just dunk on one thing. And you can even hide them 1 at a time, so you get for 3 rounds guaranteed, unless they have indirect, which has been very reduced, so unlikely. Moving right along. Knights. Knight Lancers are so underrated. Knights have been kind of really toned down because of towering and windows being nerfed, competitive play. It's really lame. I hate that. It's one of my big complaints. However, all the big knights for both Imperial and Chaos got reduced by like 30 to 40 points each for the most part. That's crazy. So I do have the Paladin here buffing. It's going to buff like 1 to 2 Armigers. Ermiger and the 1 Warglaive per a Knight Lancer as well, because why not? The Knight Paladin is going to get 1 benefit on them. I think I gave them what? The banner, so that way you basically get sticky on objective. Put them on your front line, and then you can move them forward. So that way, if you want to bring them in melee, because it actually has a melee weapon, it's not too shabby. But they still suffer from a lot of issues. The Knight Lancer is very funny because the reason I love them so much is 2 reasons. Well, 3. Because they got point reductions. And this is even more true for Chaos, because Chaos is the master vehicle race, and they get 30 points cheaper on almost all their model clones from Imperial. Their Knight Lancers, 30 points cheaper. Why? I don't know. And what they do is better, for the most part. It's crazy. Anyway, so they have a built-in 4-up invul against everything. It's not just 5-up against range, 0 against melee, like Imperial Knights regular, or just Knights in general. Doesn't have to be Imperial. And you have to spend the CP to rotate Ion Shields for 1 Knight. No, guess what? This list, it's just that guy. They're always 4-up invul all the time, melee and range. Very nice. And they have free tank shock. They could tank shock for 0 CP, and you could do if you already done it with a different model this phase. So guess what? They can both tank shock for 0 CP, which is like near guaranteed 6 mortal wounds going into your opponent before you do anything else. It's in the charge phase, not even in the fight phase. So if they have some defensive stuff, guess what? It doesn't happen yet. Big meme. So if you really wanted to run 3, that'd be 18 mortal wounds in one of the turns if you charge with all 3. That's just nutty. But yeah, very cool. There's a lot of things I woulda, shoulda, coulda want to do with both variants of Knights, but points is a thing. And they're unfortunately in a bad spot right now. Because T10 is very nice, and I think it's better to go Small Knights, but this is my little bias where I just think the Knight Lancer is just so nice, so Gucci, about just deleting everything. And, yeah, the fact that his tank sweep is for melee, strength 10, AP 2, damage 3, perfect Terminator killer, hits on 2s, wounds on 2s, and gonna bring people to their 4 to 5 up invul and kill most things. So you just throw them in and let them tank shock and sweep, and just have your opponent dump into them if they can. Mustard Boys, Custodes. Yes, I don't have any Alaruses. Screw you if you think that's bad. I don't think they're nearly as usable as they were in 9th for the points. It's most unfortunate. You can make some what-if arguments, but if you have to make a what-if argument, then screw you. Your point is invalid. Trajan on a Custodian Warden squad and Valerian on a Custodian Warden squad because I think it's funny. Feel no pains and minus AP make them even more tankier, and -1 to wound as well because wardens. And you can, and in melee you can do the kung fu that gives them -1 to hit. So 5-up feel no pain, -1 AP, -1 to wound, -1 to hit, and maybe I could do the stratagem to fight first, get fucked. Like, ugh, good lord. In melee, it's pretty funny. This was actually able to survive for 1 round against the Black Templar melee spam. He killed like a single model. And then they died after that. But, you know, it was funny. They survived for a bit. He rolled really well on his Feel No Pains. Since they dropped the price in bikes, 2 3-man things of bikes with a Donnie on a bike leading each, because you have the points for it and it's pretty decent. One has Ceaseless Hunter and the other one has Veiled Blade. Yes, I do like the Swordsman dude as well, the Blade Champion or whatever, but it's just not in the points. And what he could run with as well, I think it was, again, I gave him Wardens or regular guard. It had problems really working out tight for points to be good value. I have some Prosecutors just to hold a backline objective because you have so little to work with. You've got like 6 units, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this entire army is 6 units. That's crazy. Knights, for instance, is 7. So it's really weird when you think about it. The Venatari Custodian, 5 are Lancer, 1 is Buckler. The only reason I gave 1 a Buckler is, again, for anti-Terminator shooting and melee and stuff. It's a little funny because that way you can give it 4-up wounds, and so you can soak an extra 1 on him if they have specific stuff to kill them, which a good opponent would, because there's so much stuff in the game that's like that. That way he can take a whole extra hit, which is just so nice. The fact that they have Lance and all these other bonuses makes them hit pretty freaking well, and you can rapid ingress for 0. So just put them around something I think you'll win your opponent if they charge into you, or that you're going to just wreck face, preferably your opponent's backline, and you're just going to be an insane nuisance with those. You do need to wait, though, until debatably round 2 or round 3, which is unfortunate, but they will get their value. Last army, Sisters of Battle, Space Nuns with Guns. Alright, I have 1 thing of Celestian Sacrosaints here. This may not be the best thing, but I think it's funny. Them with Junith and the Hospitaller. So they just have an insane amount of tankiness of Invul, Feel No Pain, AP reduction, and they can be on light cover. So they can actually just be oddly defensive, which is, you know, definitely awesome. But same time, still pretty weird that they're that tanky. 3 things for Penchas with the Superiors. They have, I think, for their loadout, really good damage output. Anti-infantry. Oh, that's for the neural whips. For the plasma eviscerator. Yeah, that's where it is. Well, it contains the superior, which it should. You can reroll the hit roll, and if you made a charge, you can reroll the wound roll. So 6/2/2 reroll hits and wounds. That ain't shabby, especially if you got 10 of them going into something. That's 18 attacks, reroll hits and wounds, just for the eviscerators for 6/2/2. For their cost, that's pretty decent. If you lose them, guess what? Miracle dice. Who cares? Morven Vol in her Paragon squad. St. Celestine leading some Zephyrim. She's decent, and I think she's pretty cool to have. 3. Oh, sorry. What? Hold on a second. I think pretty sure my Battlescribe list is correct. This just isn't. Did it not remove? It's supposed to be 2 Dialogus. Yeah, it's supposed to be 2 Dialogus. I don't know how this one got here. I'll have to fix that. But 2 Dialogus with the 2 Retributors, and each Retributor squad is going to be in an Immolator as well. The Immolators are going to get the Immolation Flamers. Multi-Melt would be fun, but The Immolation Flamers, I'm going to bank on being better currently because Meltas are kind of bad, so this could be good in other matchups against low toughness, low medium save units. Low to medium save, like Eldars. This could be 5 up, 4 up invul saves covered and shit anyway, so you just want as many shots going to them as possible. Then one Castigator, you can just try to keep it alive, smoke, and it actually gives you some anti-armor a little bit, so you can kill something. It's more so, again, for the Castigator Battle Cannon, so you can just try to delete Terminators, or just be a nuisance. The thing is, this is honestly just a distraction Carnifex. They don't have strong anti-armor. The biggest anti-armor here is just the reroll wounds coming out of the Immolator for the Retributors and the Auto 6 from the Dialogus, because they, similar to Granites, they just don't have good anti-armor right now. They also have, the fact that you could just reroll hits and wounds with Repentia, so even if you go into a Mini Knight for 5 ups, you can reroll the wounds, so big meme. Yeah, it just is the best thing I could think up with Sisters right now that seems fun and competitive. I could definitely see a lot of work being done with this list, but it's also very squishy, and you gotta get lucky on those Feel No Pains with all the Repentia Sisters. Because you have a lot of 1 wound models and it's pretty swarmy, some things that are meant to be anti-Terminator might struggle to deal with the amount of Sisters that are coming out, and if they try to just dump all into your Immolators, that's fine. That's a lot of firepower you avoided and you don't have to deal with. With that said, this is the 6 non-Space Marine Imperium factions. Yes, I had Custodians and Grey Knights, but they do not benefit from the Oath of Moment rule, and Custodians are not regular Space Marines, and neither kind of basically are the Grey Knights. With that said, if you like this content, again, like, share, and subscribe. You could stay here or click one of the other videos I'm going to have posted, and it should roll you over to my next 2, which would be Xenos and Chaos, either or. And yeah, feel free to go on my Google Drive, grab these lists, or go on to Steam Workshop if you like TTS, Tabletop Simulator, and play this for yourself. Take care and have a lovely day, gamers. Bye.